We will return to our regularly scheduled program.
Please stand by for further details.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 7 of Tyler and Lynch on Standby. Just a quick update. Still on standby. No jobs.
Nothing yet.
But we don't have to worry too much about that because Lynch is now rich. Alexi, did you know that we have a rich friend?
We do?
We have a rich friend. We're going to get into that here shortly. First off, I just wanted to cover off some of the emails and some thank yous. Big thank you to the Comedy Here Often Podcast Network for hosting us, 604 Studios, producer Alexi for being here as always, and email us, tylerandlynch@gmail.com. We're getting lots of them. People still want more Lynch reviews. People were really into your Harry Potter review. I don't think the Bling Empire review was the right lane. I think we got to take it in the this is a movie everybody's watched and you can review it and they can laugh at. It's not even the review. It's your recollection of what you think the movie is. Ellie emailed in. She said, hear me out, Twilight.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that falls under the category of like, it's going to be a little bit of torture for you to actually watch and get through.
I've never seen Twilight. That's the vampire movie, right?
Yeah.
The other option was sent in from Valerie. She says, I've never watched The Matrix. Would love if Lynch could let me know if it is worth my time. So for the next episode, you're going to review one of those two. We need to pick right now.
God, Matrix. I haven't seen that in years. I can't remember what that's about.
Alexi?
I think you should go with Twilight.
Twilight it is. There we go. Next
Wait,
episode.
time out for a second.
No, we're done.
Is it free? Can I watch it for free?
You can afford it. You're rich. We were just talking about this. Rent it. You could buy Twilight.
Close.
The whole franchise.
Oh, I thought you meant the movies.
Yeah. So Twilight it is. Next episode, we'll get a Lynch review on Twilight.
God.
Thank you, Ellie, for sending that off. And we appreciate all the emails that are coming in, all the comments and all that kind of stuff. But you're rich. We might not have to do this for much longer. We don't even have to worry about getting a job. I mean, I'll be homeless, but...
No, I'd help you out, man. I told you if I struck it rich.
We argue about this a lot. Like, if I won the lottery, I don't think I would give Lynch any.
Which is brutal, right?
It's harsh.
Am I right?
Why? I feel like people win the lottery and they're like, oh, I got to give this person this much, this person. Just keep it all to yourself and stop talking to all those people. Like, you're rich.
But I like you. You're like my best friend.
No.
Just saying, I would hook you up.
We're coworkers.
Oh, okay.
And you're probably, besides Alexi, my favorite coworker. So...
Does that mean I'm number 2?
But not best friends. But we don't have to worry about this because you're rich, because Lynch invested in Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, yes.
Dogecoin?
A
Do you know what this is?
cryptocurrency.
I've heard a little bit about this.
I don't quite understand it. And it's amazing to me that you're involved at all with cryptocurrency. We had a conversation, 2 episodes ago about how I have to walk you through how to post an Instagram story. Yet somehow you have invested in cryptocurrency and have made money. It's astonishing. Can you explain what Dogecoin is?
Week, I made a lot of money.
How much?
I made about $1,100 overnight.
And how much did you start with?
Started with $275.
So that's up quite a bit.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
What is Dogecoin?
So Dogecoin is basically like it's a joke of making fun of cryptocurrency.
You sent me a clip here. It says Elon Musk Dogecoin.
Yes.
Let's just listen to Elon.
The point is that Dogecoin was invented as a joke, as essentially to make fun of cryptocurrency, and that's why I think there's like an argument like fate loves irony. Like the most entertaining outcome is what would be the most ironic outcome? That the currency that was invented as a joke, in fact, becomes the real currency.
Right? Wow. No, absolutely.
So,
to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon, baby. That's where Dogecoin is going.
So you're invested. Is Elon Musk like behind it, or is he just a supporter?
He's a massive supporter. There's a bunch of celebrities that are supporters of Dogecoin.
Okay.
You have, of
Like
course, me. Elon Musk is the big one. So every time Elon Musk tweets anything out about Dogecoin, it rises. The stock price rises on it. And it's got to fall at the end. But everybody goes and just puts money into it. That's what happened this past week. Elon Musk, he tweeted out a picture of a painting with a dog on it. And he just said, Doge to the moon. And all of a sudden, boom, it shot up. But other celebrities too, like Gene Simmons, Snoop Dogg, he's a part of it.
That makes sense.
Also,
Dogecoin. There is a dog logo. Yeah,
that's true.
Brand.
Great branding.
Also, Mark Cuban, he's a big investor. In fact, Mark Cuban has said that with the Dallas Mavericks, you can buy merch and tickets and everything using Dogecoin.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I don't understand the cryptocurrency world. Did you just go through like a stock app, like Wealth Simple or something like this,
so
and
there's
like
a bunch
invest?
of-
Or do you actually have like because don't you have to have like a crypto wallet to
So
like
that's
use
what-
these currencies?
that's
like,
what I
don't
did.
get it.
So there's a bunch of different apps you can use. I use CoinSquare, which is like one of the few ones that offer Dogecoin because it was trading at such a low, like it was like a penny stock. So I bought mine when they were like 4 or 5 cents.
Okay.
And so lots of other like Wealthsimple, they don't offer it. They offer like, Bitcoin and stuff like that. But CoinSquare, the one that I use, is offering Dogecoin. And yeah.
The coffee shop by my house has a Bitcoin ATM. And I'd never trust any of the people who are using it. It seems so sketchy. It's so weird. I'm like, why is there a Bitcoin ATM in this random coffee shop? And then just the weirdest people come in and walk up to that ATM. The people you're associating with in this cryptocurrency world are interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting people involved in this.
Why did you decide to do it?
I had a couple friends who were like, hey, man, we should just jump on this Dogecoin. If you have a couple $100, if you're willing to lose it, like let's playing the lottery, let's just do it.
I think it's because you're addicted to gambling.
Well,
Now-
look at this gamble I'm making, dude. It's coming out big right now
Do
for
you-
Lynch.
Do you know that Lynch is addicted to gambling?
Oh, really?
I'm not addicted to gambling. Settle down.
Okay, you are definitely addicted to gambling. We talked about it. Fantasy sports and sports betting is gambling. He argues that it's not, and I'm like, it definitely is. Like you put money on something and you don't know the outcome in an attempt to make more money. That's gambling, whether it be sports or stocks or cryptocurrency. You can call it whatever you want. You may not be going to the casino
I
once
guess
a
you
week,
could say it's
but
a little bit of a gamble.
it's definitely gambling. Like day trading in stocks is just gambling. That's for people who don't like sports to get the thrill of sports betting. You're just betting on a stock to do well. Like it's gambling. It's all gambling.
It's called investing.
Do you remember
should-
the time-
You should invest in Dogecoin, Tyler.
Do you remember the time where we went out and watched a football game and we had a couple drinks? I'm not a big football guy, but it was big. I don't know what it was, like the NFC or AFC championship.
Yeah,
or
I remember
something.
this.
And he won like $1,000.
Yep.
And then
Oh,
he was all drunk, and I was like, let's go to the casino right now and put that $1,000 down on roulette. And you were like, absolutely, I'm totally in. And then you did it and you lost, and it
Oh.
wasn't.
Whoa. I didn't lose it all. I ended up winning some back because I had to pay my brother because half of that money was his.
Yeah. And we went at like midnight Vancouver time. Your brother's in Ontario, so it's like 3 a.m. there. You're calling him like, do you mind if I put this all on black? Yeah, it's 3 a.m. Like it's affecting your family. And the defense of, well, I want some of it back is definitely spoken like a true gambler.
Like you were the
that's-
one. Okay.
Yeah.
you
That's
know
what
in
gamblers say.
In that state of mind, though, you should have been like, you know what, buddy? Let's just go home. Let's not go to the casino.
No, but I love exploiting your addictions. It's fun to me.
I had a good time doing it. I did.
There was a point where we were doing radio. I don't know if you remember that. Where during the news, I would get you to read out your like fantasy team stats, like during the sports cast, just how Lynch's fantasy team was doing, just to keep you gambling. Like I love watching you lose money.
But right now, man, I'm winning in like all my pools.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
NHL pool right now, I'm like 50 some points ahead of everybody else, you losers, if you're watching right now.
You're
And there-
definitely addicted
And
to
there's
gambling.
money on the line for that. But like with Dogecoin, you can't say that's gambling. That's an investment.
Elon Musk, do we like him? What do we think about Elon
I
Musk?
like Elon
I'm
Musk.
still torn on whether or not he's like a really cool billionaire or a potential supervillain. You know, like it could go either way. He has enough money that he could really be a bad guy if he wants to, but I'm not convinced he is.
I like how he just doesn't care.
He just
He's got
does
so
the
much money.
The weirdest stuff, like when he put out that song about Harambe the gorilla, or like,
Do you remember the not a flamethrower company?
yeah, where he just sold flamethrowers and legally got away with it because he said they're not flamethrowers, but they were.
And they sold out instantly?
Yeah, like he's just doing random cool stuff like that. But you're like, I don't know, this could go the bad. He's trying to win us all over for what?
Yeah.
I love it, man. Elon, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are, or listening, please tweet more about Dogecoin. Get that up to the moon, man, to the moon.
So it's a big in your world. You know what else is today? And I don't know if you wanted to talk about this or not, but today is Lynch's birthday. Happy birthday, Lynch!
Thank you.
The oldest man on the planet. I can't believe 94 years old. Look how great he looks for 94. It's
I know,
amazing.
limber too.
Yeah, 94. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I didn't get you a gift,
See,
but you
what-
should not be surprised.
I'm
by
not
that.
really
Alexi, did
surprised.
you get him a gift?
No.
Yeah, no gift. Sorry.
But,
But
like-
past the age of gifts.
Yeah, but you know, with you, I thought that maybe like at some point in your life that you would come
No.
to the table with a gift.
No.
I always get you gifts.
Every Christmas and every birthday, Lynch buys me a gift, and every Christmas and every birthday, I don't buy Lynch one. And it's kind of
Oh.
become a bit because it
Yeah,
started.
it's become a bit in your world,
yeah.
not in my world. My world would be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year.
It was like, it started because my family was never like big into giving gifts. Like we did like trips. Like we didn't have that much money. So like we saved what we would spend on gifts and tried to do a trip every year. And that was kind of the thing. So I'm not a big gift giver to start with. And like early on in our relationship, it was coming up to like my birthday, I think. And I was like, don't get me anything because I'm not going to buy you a gift. So like, let's not start this trend now. Like we're not the type of people who are buying each other Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. We work together. We're just acquaintances. We
Best
don't
friends.
need, we're just acquaintances. So we don't need to do this. And then you proceeded to buy me a birthday gift that year, and then a Christmas gift, and then a birthday gift, and a Christmas every single year since. And I refuse because I told you not to.
I go out of my way for you for gifts.
Yeah, like weird ones. He got me a Vladimir Putin calendar where it's just
Oh.
like,
Like straight from the
shirtless.
Kremlin.
He had to
wow,
order
that's
it
thoughtful.
from the
What do you mean
Kremlin.
that's awful?
No, I said
that's
thoughtful.
awfully
Thoughtful.
thoughtful. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good.
Got real offended there. Lynch went on a list for that. Like he ordered something mailed to his house from the Kremlin directly.
It
like,
took
that's gotta
months
put you
and
on a
months
list.
to get.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
It's always so weird. And then I get you nothing.
Harsh.
Yeah, thank you. Isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
I think
very
it's
harsh.
fair. I really do think it's fair because I told you not to do it and you did it anyways. You brought that on yourself.
But now you expect these gifts.
You've got me some weird ones too. You got me the Kentucky Fried Chicken scented Yule log
What?
for
Yeah.
Christmas this
What
year.
is that?
It's like one of those like Duraflame type logs for a fireplace, except it smells like KFC chicken when you burn it.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it's a hassle. I haven't burnt it. It smells.
You haven't burnt that yet?
No, I don't want my whole place to smell like fried chicken. It's so gross. It smells so much like fried chicken even when it's not burning that I had to like put it in a sealable bag and then lock it in a closet. I'm waiting for when we go camping. I figure camping, we
Okay,
can bring it
that's
out.
the worst spot to go and burn that thing.
Yeah, bring the bears around. Who cares? I'll fight a bear.
Okay.
I got a calendar from the Kremlin. You don't think I could fight a bear? That's
There
what
is a
Russians
picture
do.
of him shirtless in the woods. I would imagine that he
Exactly.
just
I'll
finished fighting a bear.
I'll just show the bear the picture, and the bear will be very scared. I don't need bear spray.
The bear would be like, respect. All
God,
right.
speaking of bear spray, my truck got broken into, and it's definitely some like homeless people, I would imagine. And I had a can of bear spray in there, and it's gone. And I'm
Oh,
just like,
no.
what? Who has that?
Somebody
like
just
that's a very
leave bear
dangerous
spray in
thing.
your truck?
Yeah. For in the woods. And I was like, now some homeless person has a can of bear spray, which is not good.
Oh,
and then
no.
like less than a week later, like 6 blocks from my house, a random person got bear sprayed on the street. And I was like, I think that might have been my fault.
That's your bear spray.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Birthday though. Any plans for the rest of the day?
No.
You're past the point of celebrating? Doing
Yeah, I
anything?
don't care.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No big party?
No
Do you
birthday
remember
parties.
having birthday parties?
Yeah, back in the day.
Like,
Like, you mean when you can go out and
yeah,
Party
when
it
the
up
world
for
was
your
normal.
birthday?
Yeah. And and now you can only party in a church. That's where all birthday parties are. I remember like my 26th birthday. I did a sober month for like sober May, and then my parents showed up for a visit, and my parents were like split up at the time, but then randomly they got back together and they didn't tell me. So my mom was supposed to be coming for a trip, and then she just showed up, and I go to pick them up at the airport, and also my dad was there, and I was like, oh, I guess you guys are back together. Cool. And that's how they told me. And anyways, it was stressful when like one more person than is supposed to be there shows up to stay in your very small apartment with absolutely no heads up whatsoever. And we never talked about it. So anyways, sober month, go out that night. It's my first night drinking in a month. It's my birthday. I was like, let's do this. I turned it up and I drank like I did before the sober month.
oh
and
God.
I was not at the same level. and I got very sick. And I spent my 26th birthday throwing up in an IHOP bathroom with my parents over breakfast. And I was like, what has my life become?
Well,
This is-
at least it was a fancy joint that you did. There.
And I did get a free Grand Slam because it was my birthday. So
There
couldn't
you
eat
go.
it.
There
Couldn't
you
eat
go.
it. Threw it all up, but it was a really adult way to spend a birthday.
God, I remember my 18th birthday.
God, that must
Barely.
have been 74 years ago.
And it was what, when you turn 18 or 19, whenever you're at a legal drinking age, all your friends are out and they just load you up.
Yes.
There's shots everywhere and they're buying you drinks and you're like, oh, this is great until like the 20th shot that you have.
Right.
I ended up spending a majority of my birthday night passed out underneath the pool table in our local little drinking watering hole in my small town.
Under the pool table.
Under the pool table. And they let me stay there because it wasn't busy and all of my friends were there drinking.
That leads to the question, where's the most interesting place you passed out? One time I passed out under a car in a parking lot.
Under a car?
Yeah, we used to just
How the hell do you just pass out under a car?
I rolled under there. We were drinking at the arena parking lot, which, in a small town,
That's what you do.
you sit on the stairs and you drink. That's the only activity. And we were like, probably like grade 9, so whatever age that is. And we stole a 60 of Appleton's rum from my friend's dad. And we vowed between two of us to drink all of it.
Oof.
And we did. And that was too much.
So you had a Texas Mickey, which you split up between you and your
60.
friend?
No, a Texas Mickey's bigger. A 60 is a handle.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, it's a lot. It's a 48 ouncer would have been too much.
Yeah. Even
yeah.
a 2.6 probably a little bit too much.
Yeah. So we split that and then threw up everywhere at the arena, which
That's
is funny because we
gross.
both worked at the arena. So we knew we had to clean that up the next morning. And then I fell asleep on the ground and then I rolled and I woke up and I was underneath a car. And I don't know how long I was under there. Quite a while.
You're lucky, man.
Yeah.
Like I've passed out in some stupid ass areas.
Right.
I passed out in a snowbank one time.
That's how
and-
people die.
Yeah.
By
Well,
the way.
say, yeah. It was after a curling bonspiel.
Checks out.
The curling bonspiel was the one where we played 3 ends, where you had, somebody on the team had to have a hollowed out broomstick where she put booze in. And before each shot, you took a shot. And then you took,
Curling's
get in the
best
hack
sport.
and throw the rock. And yeah, I ended up passing out outside of the curling rink in a snowbank. Police came by, which at the time my dad was the staff sergeant at the RCMP station that we lived in.
Mhm.
And the cops picked me up, drove me back from that small town where the curling bonspiel was all the way home. But on the way, I opened the door on the highway while we're going like 100K down the highway and puked all down the side of the police car. And it was like minus 30 out. And that next morning, my dad wakes me up at 6 to get out there and wash off the cop car because it's like full of puke all over the side, up the window in the back, all down the side. I didn't realize I had that much in my stomach that
This
I could
is
just get out.
disgusting.
I know that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I don't do well
Weird
with-
places to pass out, snowbanks.
We've talked
don't.
about this before. I don't do well with bodily functions.
You just told me a story about you puking outside of the
I know,
rink.
but I didn't go into the detail of it's frozen down the side of the car. I said I threw up in an IHOP bathroom. Who hasn't? That's pretty normal. Like frozen and gross. You're disgusting.
Well, it doesn't really smell when it's frozen. It is when you have to wipe it off.
No, we're done.
There's
We're
like
done.
chunks. and-
Let's stop.
Okay.
Why are you enjoying this so much?
I love it. I had something similar happen minus the chunks, and I'm not going to give you a lot of details just to save your
Thank
stomach. But on my 19th birthday, I was drinking downtown with some friends, and then I had to SkyTrain back to New West to get home. And I'd only been drinking beer all night. So of course I threw up on the SkyTrain.
Oh.
But it was just beer. And,
Doesn't
Right.
matter.
and as soon as I threw up, I like sobered up and I was like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
But by then the SkyTrain's moving and the beer is just kind of traveling along with, like, when the SkyTrain would go, the beer would travel along to the back of the SkyTrain. People are jumping over seats to get away
I would have pieced out of that train so quick and waited for the next one. Why didn't you do that?
because I was already on it and it was moving. So I had to just be on there and be like, sorry, everyone, sorry. And I got off as soon as I could.
Too much puke talk. Why does puke come up in every episode?
I don't know. You started it.
I know. It's my fault. Okay, let's move on. Let's congratulate Lynch on, first off, getting rich. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Second off, congratulations on making it another year around the sun or whatever, however that works. You did it. You're so old. It's amazing. It's incredible that you're still alive. Honestly, it's a feat. You should be studied for science. Also, congratulations on becoming a parent again.
Yes, I had a parent, a little, I guess you could call it a little child.
Yeah.
In
Lynch
my
is a dad.
car over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Daddy Lynch.
I was camping and I had another goddamn mouse get into my friggin' car. This is the second time I've been camping.
In like a couple months.
Yeah, where I've had a mouse get into my car. I don't know how the hell these mice get in there because my bin game when I camp is so strong. I have a great bin game where everything is in bins, everything's sorted out.
It's so OCD. If you want to see Lynch's OCD, look at his camping supplies.
It's crazy. So I don't know what this mouse is looking for because everything's in airlock bins. But this mouse, which by the way, you made fun of me for the last time because the last time I got a mouse, the same spot that I was camping before, I kept all these traps. I have these traps underneath my seat and they've been there since the first time. And if I didn't have these damn traps in there once again, that mouse would still be free reign in my vehicle.
Well, so what happened to it? So you're keeping it as a pet. You're naming it Stuart Little.
Well,
or Fievel.
You want the real story? What happened with this thing?
Yeah.
So I have these traps. I put one out right by my pedals of the driver's seat.
That seems safe.
And well, because I'm not in the damn car now, so I'm camping. So I left this here trap out, and I noticed the other morning I went out and looked. I'm like, that trap is not there. What the hell? So I went and I looked underneath the seat, and that mouse had dragged that trap that he got stuck in all the way to another trap, which he then got stuck in. So a dual trap mouse. And I pulled it out, and I felt bad.
Your son is so stupid.
I felt bad for the little guy, but I took him up, put him on like a piece of wood, and then I sopranoed him. I whacked him. It was humane the way I did it. He wasn't there very long. There was no like mouse
Murdered
droppings.
His own child. That's why I wore my Sopranos tracksuit because I knew that this was going to come up.
I whacked him good, and I had a burial. I had a burial for it.
Did you?
Yeah. Said a
so
few
Lynch
words.
is out camping. Let's be honest. Mushrooms? No mushrooms.
None.
No mushrooms.
No.
Okay, so just weed and alcohol.
Yep.
You're all a little messed up.
Yep.
And you're like, let's do a burial for this mouse. Was it a very spiritual event?
No, it was basically like, hey, tell your friends not to mess with
Do you
my
think
car.
that because
Very
they
Sopranos.
breed like
Oh,
crazy?
like crazy.
So are you positive that this mouse just climbed its way in on this camping trip, or do you think this may be a child of the first
No.
mouse that you found in your car?
No, I haven't had any issues. It's been months.
Yeah, but
since
they're
I had
just
the
living
first
in there
one.
somewhere, and then eventually they come
I
out.
think I'd see evidence of something, man.
Yeah,
But no, like this
maybe
mouse.
it's just a little baby, right? And now it's just alive.
Okay,
And then you
it's not a
squished
little
it.
baby. I didn't just squish it. I whacked it. I broke its spine.
God.
I killed it.
This is not a PETA-friendly episode.
No,
Some
it
people have
isn't.
mice as pets, okay? They're going to be triggered. We're going to have to put a trigger warning on this.
Well, I apologize. Would you? Okay, if you're such a bleeding heart, put some mice in your vehicle.
I will. I'm going to get a pet mouse. I'm going to let it live in my car.
See what it does when it rips the living shit out of your seats and your wiring and everything because it's made with soy. Then you'll be like changing your tune.
The wires are made with soy?
Some vehicles, they have wires that are made with soy coverings on it, the wrappings.
Oh.
So I think
Is that
that's why
they chew it?
Yeah, that's why mice are attracted to some of those vehicles.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Because I've always wondered, because they always chew electrical, and I'm like, that seems dumb. Like, what are you
Yeah.
trying to accomplish here? But if it's soy,
Yeah, some of those wires are coated in soy base. Yeah.
who knew you could learn things in this podcast as well? That's fascinating.
There you go. I did a lot of research on these damn things.
People who have mice as pets. What's the weirdest pet? Have you ever had a weird pet, Alexi?
Yes.
What did you have?
I had doves.
Doves?
Doves?
Yes. I had 5
Like
doves.
peace doves?
Yeah.
5 of them?
Yeah. I had started with 2.
I've never heard of anyone who
Really?
had pet doves. Okay,
Yeah.
now was it like a rental experience? Like if you're throwing a wedding, we got doves that we can bring. No, you just had
No,
pet
I
doves.
should have though. Hey, that would
Just-
have been smart.
In cages in your house? Like how does that work?
Well, so I started with 2 and I had like a little like store-bought cage and then they had like 3 babies and then my dad built me like a big custom cage that I kept in my room. And did you know like birds are dirty? They're really
gross.
dirty.
Yeah.
When did you just figure this one out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it out through my experience.
How did you sleep with them in your room? Like,
Not well.
They're loud, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
They're loud and they flap around and the cage is like big enough that they could kind of fly.
Oh my
Little
God.
Like it
That
was
sounds like a
pretty big.
nightmare.
Yeah, I had to give them up.
Did you have friends over into your room?
Yeah, but nobody really wanted to come over.
Yeah.
Understandably.
You think it sounds cool. You're like doves, and then you actually logistically have the dove, and you're like, this is a horrible idea.
I don't know what I was thinking either. Like, I'm not a really like big bird person.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the thought process.
How long
but,
do they live?
Well, they lived quite a while when I had them, but I don't know. Maybe like.
Did they all just
5,
die of
6 years?
natural causes, or did you let them go?
I
Can you just
gave-
let doves go?
Yeah, what did you do with them? You said did you give them away?
I gave them to.
Who the hell is
SPCA.
just saying like, hey, you know what? I'm on Craigslist or Kijiji and like I'm looking for doves.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of weirdos doing
Whoa,
that?
that reminds me of a call we got on the air one time. Do you remember the lady? She was trying to. We were talking about like the weirdest experiences you've had with Craigslist, and this lady called in who was going to buy a computer. She goes to a trailer park, and she goes into the guy's trailer, and then he's just got mattresses on the ground everywhere, which is a
Ooh.
weird vibe,
Yeah, that's
right?
Yeah.
murder vibe.
And he's like, "Hey, so I'm just gonna like clear out this computer, the hard drive. So it's gonna take a little bit. Do you want to hang out with my pet snake?"
Oh.
And then he brought out a snake and then fed like chickens, like baby chicks to the
What?
snake. Well, he worked on the computer and she waited to buy it. And I was like, that's a horrendous experience.
I would have
That
left.
is.
I would
Yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
the computer's not worth it to me.
If I walked
F
into
this.
a trailer
Yeah.
and there's just only mattresses on the floor, I'm out right there. I don't need to see
Yeah.
the snake. That is a murder scenario.
Yeah.
Craigslist.
Yeah, weird.
So you didn't sell your doves on Craigslist. You gave them to the SPCA. So they went to
Yeah.
a good place.
Yeah.
I had a racing pigeon for a little while.
A racing pigeon.
Yeah. There was a lady who had racing pigeons across the field from where I grew up.
Oh.
And one of the racing pigeons got loose and it like flew over and then somehow got injured and it couldn't fly anymore. So then I nursed it back to health in my backyard. And then they found out that I had it and they were very pissed because they're real expensive.
You should be happy that you got it. You picked it
I
up and you
saved
nursed
its
it back
life.
to health.
But I wanted to keep it forever. Like I wasn't giving it back.
How did they know it was theirs?
Because they're tagged. Like,
Why didn't you cut the tag off?
I guess I could have. I don't know. I was 8. I wasn't like thinking clearly about how to like.
Well, I'm sure that your
off
dad
this-
probably helped you.
Yeah,
you,
no.
didn't just have this thing in a box you were nursing back to health with grass.
Yeah, basically. It's like a dog kennel in the backyard that I put like bird-like stuff in, and it couldn't fly.
Bird-like stuff?
I don't know,
What
like
the hell is bird-like
I don't know,
stuff?
you're 8. You try to like make a nest, you know, and like grass, whatever, twigs. You're like birds like this stuff. What? The birds like that
I
stuff.
just had a cage out back
With a
that I
racing
hid underneath the deck and I put bird-like stuff inside.
Bird-like stuff. What else are you supposed to do? And then they caught word of it because it's like a small town and everybody knows everybody. And they caught word and then they came and got it. And then I don't know whatever happened. Maybe that pigeon went on to be a world champion. Pigeon racing. What an interesting.
Isn't Mike
Hobby.
Tyson hardcore into that?
Yeah, he was for a period. I feel like rich people, they were really wealthy. Like they just hit a point where it's like they need a hobby that's, you know, like bowling doesn't do it for them anymore. like they're like, we could buy anything. And they just get into weird stuff. Pigeon racing is one of
Man.
those.
Yeah, that's great. I've never seen a pigeon race before.
No. Do you have any weird pets?
When I lived with a few buddies, we ended up getting an old aquarium.
Mm.
And we decided that it would be a great idea to get 5 piranhas.
Jesus.
So we got 5 piranhas.
That's the most bro. Like it was your apartment sponsored by Monster Energy.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
we got 5 piranhas in a tank.
Were there 5 of you living there? Was it like
Yeah.
one of them supposed to
Yeah,
represent each one of you?
But like we got them when they were small. They were probably about, size of a couple loonies toonies put together or whatever.
Okay.
And
That's a weird unit of measurement.
well, I'm just trying to do a visual here for people who are listening.
Right.
And we had goldfish as well. So we just put them all in the same tank. It was a pretty big
Oh,
tank.
no.
Even I know you can't do that.
But wait, they were friends for a bit until they got too big. And then they ate the goldfish right away. But we would feed them, poor mice. We'd feed them mice.
Oh.
And
God, Lynch is just a mice killer over
Yeah.
here. What is your problem with mice?
I'm going to go work at Poulin's or something. But yeah, we would feed them mice. And it was amazing to watch these piranhas just go to town.
I don't trust
Yeah.
people who have snakes. I don't think I trust piranha people either, based on this story. Like, that's a weird.
It is weird.
No.
It's weird. 5 piranhas that you're just feeding mice to. Like, that's some serial killer stuff.
Well,
Like,
we used to do minnows, But there was a point where like
That's
we
not
just
enough if they're
couldn't
that
get
big.
minnows. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they grew about the size of your hand.
So wild.
And then when we all moved, my idiot roommate was like, "We just put them in the river." I'm like, "No, you can't just put them in the river just to let them go because we don't want them anymore." But we did find somebody who wanted
There's
to take them.
invasive
Oh my God.
piranha species in Manitoba because Lynch's
Just
idiot
cruising up and
roommate-
down the Assiniboine River.
Yeah. Dump them in the river. I had a newt at one point. Do you know what a newt is? A little tiny lizard that
Yep.
lives in an aquarium, but they're like
cute.
poisonous to touch. So it's like
They're
the worst-
poisonous?
Yeah, they like what? There's like they're really like gooey, and if you don't like wash your hands after, you can get like real sick.
Like, what does it do to you?
I don't know. I never tested it, luckily. But my friend bought it for me. I think we were both turning 11. We had the same birthday, and he bought me a newt, and I named it Jimmy Neutron.
Good name, good name.
Oh, that's
pretty good
cute.
for 11. Pretty good.
That's
fun.
good. I like that.
Jimmy Neutron was very popular at the time. But like that's the most like 11-year-old boy gift in the world to both buy poisonous lizards that you can't touch for your birthday. That's an 11-year-old boy. That is
So did you take your newt out into the backyard
Walk
to
it on a
meet
little
your,
leash?
your stolen racing pigeon under the deck?
that's what happened to the pigeon. It got poisoned from the newt. I don't even know what happened to the newt. I think I just forgot to feed it and died. I think.
Oh no.
Which is also a very 11-year-old boy thing to do. You're just not responsible enough.
I had a hamster one time that
And he put it up his butt. Real
no,
story.
no.
He Richard Geared that. Did
Yeah.
Richard Gere
Did he
actually do that? Is that one of those
Richard
things that
Gere-
people just believe? Like the Marilyn Manson rib situation. Like I went my whole life believing that Marilyn Manson removed ribs so he could give himself a blowjob. And that's not at all
That's
accurate.
not, no.
But I believed that for probably like 15 years.
Yeah,
The Richard
me
Gere
too.
thing's got to be in that category, right? He didn't put a hamster up his ass.
I don't.
It's
I
Or
hope
was it a
not.
gerbil?
apparently that's a pretty common thing for people to
Shut
do.
up! It's a common thing.
Common enough that I believe it.
Oh,
For like
God.
a celebrity.
For a
Right?
celebrity to do
It's
it.
true. It
Right?
goes back to that like rich person category. Like you're bored. Like
Yeah, right?
Oh, I could buy any dildo I want, but
But I want
Who's
one that
doing-
moves and breathes and I can feed later on.
Oh. Oh.
So anyways, I had this hamster and we were going away for the weekend and my dad was just like, I just fill his bowl up with food, so we don't have
It'll
to
be
take it over to
fine.
the neighbor's house and have them take care of it or whatever. So, and I didn't know that if you put food out for like a hamster, they'll just keep eating and eating and eating and eating and
Oh,
eating.
right. They'll eat till they implode.
And that's what happened.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got home after our trip, went downstairs to go see, I think his name was Shadow. And Shadow was exploded all over the all over the little cage because
no.
it ate himself. There was so much food, it just blah, like gluttonly, like just boom.
You know what? Pets don't get enough credit. Guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are pretty cute. Have you ever played with a guinea pig? My brother had guinea pigs growing up, and they were fun.
Really?
Yeah. I like
they
the guinea
bite?
pigs. Yeah, little nips, but they're like, I don't know. They got tiny little teeth. It's kind of interesting. We had them in like a big aquarium as well because my parents like flipped houses, so we moved around a lot growing up. And we moved into this one house that had a saltwater fish tank, which is very
That's
cool.
cool.
Like coral reef in it. Like it's this crazy tank. And just like finding Nemo fish and like there's a little shark in there. Like
You
it
had
was-
a shark?
Yeah, like one of these.
Why
I don't
have
know
you
what they're
never
called.
told
They're
me
like
that you had
mini
a shark?
They're not. They're like the mini sharks. I don't know how to describe
Like little
them.
dogfish type sharks?
Yeah, that type
Okay.
of thing. We had all sorts of cool stuff in there. And I don't even know exactly what happened. We should call my mom. My mom will know this story. But we went on vacation and then we came back and everything was dead. And I don't know how it happened. Let's call my mom. My mom will tell this story.
I
'cause
can't
kinda
believe
feel
you
like-
had a friggin' shark.
I kind of feel like
I had
this,
a little shark too, actually.
Did you?
What? Where do you guys just go? You can't
had
just go to
piranhas.
Petland and get sharks.
You had piranhas.
Yeah. But
I'm-
this is sharks, saltwater sharks.
I'm calling Denise Middleton. Okay.
Your mom's a gem.
She is a gem. Let's see if we can hear this here.
Hello.
Hello, mother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hi,
You're on-
Denise.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You called him Chris. That's weird.
I decided to like Chris better.
You like Chris better. Okay. Christopher Lynch. Call him Christopher.
No, don't.
Mom, we were talking about, remember the saltwater aquarium?
Oh, yes.
What happened with our saltwater aquarium? How do we kill everything in it? I forget the story.
We did. You did.
What do you mean I did?
You accidentally forgot to mix the salt solution properly, poured it in. We were away for a couple days, and when we came back and opened the door, it was like, I don't know for sure what it smells like, but a house full of decay.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember walking back through the door and it being the most disgusting thing I've ever smelled. Like, it's crazy how quickly it went bad and how it made the whole house smell so horrible. I did not realize that it was my fault.
I never ever told you. I knew I didn't when you were littler, but I thought by now, as an adult, I would have told you.
So I killed all of it.
Every last piece of it.
Denise, I have a question for you.
Every fish, everything.
Did you really have sharks?
Just a little baby one.
Damn. How have you never told me you had sharks ever?
Lynch is very excited about the sharks. Lynch had piranhas when he was younger.
Oh.
And he would feed the mice. Isn't that serial killer level stuff?
Yes.
I feel like you should be worried about me. I don't know.
What happened while we were away? Someone got into the house.
What happened? What?
That's how I felt when we walked into that house. Like someone had.
Like someone had been murdered in there.
Yeah. Tyler murdered all the fish.
So bad. Even now, it makes me gag. Just the thought.
So I murdered the entire aquarium. Well, that's good. That's good. Did you know it's Lynch's birthday?
No, I didn't. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Denise.
You're the year older, hey, bud?
Yeah.
He's 94 now.
So rude.
His age has kept keeping up with the old Lynch facade.
Yeah. It's crazy. Every year he has a birthday, he ages by 10 years, whereas everyone ages by 1. It's weird.
I'm like a dog. Is that what you're saying?
All right, we're going to let you go. Thank you for letting me know that I murdered all the fish.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, she said it back.
I love your mom.
My mom is a sweetheart. So I murdered all the aquarium
Wow,
fish.
is that news to you?
Yeah. I like how she didn't tell me that it was my fault when I was a kid because she didn't want me to feel bad. What a sweet lady. Ugh.
That is.
Do you feel bad now?
No.
Because you probably named all these fish. And then you just go and you just murder them.
And it really wasn't like the hype of the Finding Nemo era. So it really was like really cool to have because like fish were just, Finding Nemo was really good for the fish brand.
Yeah.
Like fish are pretty boring pets. Then Finding Nemo came out and everyone's like, I want a saltwater fish tank.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then
The
I
fish
killed
were
them.
Cooler with saltwater.
Pardon?
The fish were cooler.
Yeah,
The
they
saltwater
were.
ones. They were like.
And the reefs were so cool.
Yeah.
Weird pets. Okay, let's do a new segment. Alexi, this is something we used to do on the show, and we wanted to bring it here. Oh, no. My mic fell.
Oh, no.
Technical difficulty. There you go.
We're good. So we used to do this thing called Tyler's News versus Lynch's News. And we each bring a weird news story to the table, and then we would make the audience decide on which person had the better story. And we can't do live interaction right now, so you're going to have to decide who has the better weird news story, okay?
Oh, sick.
I'm going to let you go first.
You want to let me go first?
You want to rock, paper, scissors it? One round?
All right, let's do it.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, rock, paper, scissors. Oh,
Damn it. All
okay,
right.
you go first.
All right. So, you know how there are countries right now who are doing this race to Mars?
Yes.
Where they want to get people on Mars. They want to kind of build, a pseudo society up there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now,
Which, by the way, if you watch any of the Mars videos,
they're boring.
Mars sucks.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on Mars. They really sold that NASA footage. And they're like, oh, first footage from Mars. And you're like, it's boring as hell. There's like nothing going on. It's just red rocks. It's like, I'll go to PEI. At least we got something, you know?
Yeah, it's better than Mars.
Mars is so stupid.
And it's got a weird sound
Not
to
one
it.
alien. Yeah, it's got a weird hum where you're like, it sounds like hospital lights. Mars sucks. I hate Mars.
Yeah, it's just scenery's horrible. But regardless, there are like countries and even NASA is going to be going up there as well. And there are reports saying, including NASA, that when people do go up there and somebody dies on Mars, once people start going up to Mars, it's going to take either months or years to get these dead bodies back to Earth. And one of the reasons why they're not going to be just burying people in Mars is because NASA, they have a strict policy where they don't want to basically corrupt the planet, I guess, with human remains.
That makes sense.
So what they're thinking of doing is if somebody does want to go up on Mars, and even Elon Musk has said this too with SpaceX.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're going to go to Mars, prepare to die, because there's not really any like trips back and forth. It's not like catching a bus or whatever. And he's like, if you do die, then that's basically it. They're not just going to leave you there. They're probably going to send you off into space.
Ooh. Whoa.
So you're like, there's a bunch of dead bodies just like floating around the atmosphere of Mars. Or they're going to have people eat each other like they do in that movie Alive. I don't know if you've seen that movie where the soccer team, the plane crashes.
Army
in the mountain.
Hammer.
So yeah.
This is your place. That's that guy, the celebrity guy, right?
Is that
Armie
the
Hammer?
guy who wanted to eat people?
Yeah. We'll send him to Mars. This is a good place for him. The idea of just putting a body into space and just letting it float around for eternity?
I guess.
Yeah.
Would it not what would happen? It's in a vacuum, so it wouldn't decompose. There's no oxygen, right?
It would probably freeze.
That's so
but
weird.
like it would just be in the Mars atmosphere.
Imagine, 30 years from now, we're in spaceships and we're just flying through and just like, boom, body off the windshield. Like, oh, Terry. That is crazy. That's a cool way to go. Like if you were like, I've always wanted to be cremated because I'm paranoid that I would come back to life in the casket. Like I know that's a weird thing, but I'm like, just cremate me.
Yeah, that's how I wanted to be done.
Yeah. Like I don't ever want to even have to deal with that. But like being launched into space, that's a whole nother level. That's cool.
Can you imagine though? Like you said, you don't want to just come back to life, but what if they took option B where it's like they're eating you and they're like cutting into your leg and stuff.
And then you wake up.
And you're like, oh my God. Frank, what's going on here?
That's the mustard. I would
That's
imagine
my good leg.
human meat would taste great with mustard. I would imagine.
Would you ever try a person?
Oh, no. I don't think I could do it.
Survival? Like if it was either you're going to die
if it came down to it and you and I were trapped on a deserted island, I will eat you. But I'm never going to do it by like just choice or I don't know.
I'd sign a donor card saying like, if I die and if you need to eat me.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
It's cannibalism's just straight up illegal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you have to question that?
But like you can't like legally sign a form being like, when I die, like I allow Lynch to eat me or something. Like you can't. There's no way to.
You heard of
it?
that kind of crap on like Craigslist before,
right? But is it legal?
No, I don't think that is.
No.
This is a stupid question.
We're getting off topic here. On
Cannibalism
this,
is not legal unless you're on Mars.
On Mars, they're saying that would be one of the options.
Okay.
Crazy, hey?
So this is your weird news story.
That's my
Sum it
weird
up
news
in
story.
one headline.
Going to Mars, die, float the atmosphere, or get eaten. Pick one.
Okay. That's the summary of the story. That was a horrible headline.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's the first story. What about this one? Mystery animal sighting in Poland ends up being a croissant.
What?
Wait,
What is that? What do you mean by that?
what?
Explain this.
This lady in Poland called animal services or animal welfare workers because she was looking out her window and for 2 days there was just what she thought was a creature living in the tree and it wasn't moving. And she got real worried about it and she watched it for a couple days. And then eventually she's like, I got to do something about this. So she called animal welfare services. They got there, they checked, and someone had thrown a croissant in the tree.
Oh my God.
And she thought it was this animal.
What?
It's just a croissant in a tree. And then somehow, out of all the stuff going on in the world, I mean, the world could be a horrible place news-wise, Like there's a lot over the last little while. Somehow that ended up like the third top trending story on Twitter is just a woman who called animal services with quote unquote desperation in her voice to say the creature had been sitting in the tree across the road for 2 days. Everyone is scared of him, she told authorities.
Scared of the croissant?
Begging them to come and investigate. People are scared to open their windows because they're afraid it's going to go into their house.
Oh my God.
And then when they got there, it's a croissant in a tree. And that story made me laugh so hard.
Oh my God.
And police thought it was like an April Fool's Day joke, like that. But it's like we're a little late on April Fools.
Yeah.
Like maybe it
Well,
just
it's been there
didn't
for
get
a while, it
noticed.
sounds like.
Yeah, but there's no answer. No one knows how the croissant actually got
I would have
in the
loved
tree.
it if they had like the firefighter went up there, checked it out, grabbed it, and took a bite.
Yeah.
Like that would have made the story.
I like the lady, just the different quotes from the lady. Also, because they're being translated from Polish. So one of them is just, the poor guy had no legs or head.
The poor guy.
Could you imagine David Attenborough like doing a voiceover for that? We were talking about the BBC accent the last episode, like the croissant in its natural habitat. I don't even know what else to say about it. I really talked myself into a corner there. The croissant in its natural habitat. The croissantalis appelopolis. Whatever. I feel like they just add appelopolis in the end of words when they're talking
it makes it
about
sound more professional, right?
The croissantalis. So that was my story. Croissant in the tree, mistaken for a wild animal. Police called, climbed the tree. Not an
Just
animal.
a croissant. My God. Slow news day in Poland.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single day. And now it's time for you to decide.
Oh my God.
Which story is better? Dead people in space, croissant in tree.
This is a hard decision.
Yeah.
You guys both really brought it today. I think I'm going to have to go with the croissant.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm sorry.
Really? The croissant?
I'm sorry. It was a hard decision, but yeah.
The pastry won over space.
Just the fact that it got so high up there in like news stories and
Right.
it's just a croissant.
How much higher can you get than space? Hey, think about that.
But everyone's always talking about space, you know?
Yeah.
Like
We're not
that's
talking about dead people in space. That's the thing.
No, it's just a new aspect, but there's space news every week. There's not croissant news every week, you know? Croissant news is new. It's our new lane. Last week was bowling commentary. This week is croissant news.
All right. Well, I think the dead people in space is better, but you know, whatever.
well, you
whatever.
had-
It's up to Alexi.
You
I
had
think I got
piranhas and you're a murderer, so that makes sense.
And it's my birthday.
And
I'm sorry.
I got you this croissant.
I feel like I got kind of sad when I realized that if I wanted to go to Mars, that I'd have to probably die there.
I think that's changing, though. I do think that's changing because I forget what I was listening to like just recently that was saying that originally the Mars trips were going to be like, you die up there.
Yeah.
That was the idea. But now they're thinking that they can actually travel back and forth and you could probably do it for like a couple year stint now, which is a whole different idea. That makes it far more appealing.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine taking like the Air Canada spaceship up to Mars? Like your luggage, where is that at?
Yeah.
Like in between.
We're sorry to inform you, but your luggage has ended up on Uranus.
It'll be about 3 years until you get your toothbrush back. Here's a voucher for some dehydrated peaches that you can have on Mars.
You get to the hotel on
Yeah.
Mars. Like, what do you mean I don't have a reservation?
And before we wrap this up, I just wanted to say one thing that I learned this week. Okay.
Okay.
Indigo sells sex toys. Did you know this?
What?
Indigo sells sex toys. I
Really?
had no idea. And I was informed of it.
Were you looking?
No, maybe.
All right.
I was informed of it. And you can go on the app and order like all sorts of different sex toys for like in-store pickup. And our downtown Vancouver location on Robson, and I would imagine the bigger ones across the country, have them in-store.
I was just about to
What
ask.
section?
So,
I
Because
don't
there's
know,
like
health and wellness, I
There's a
believe.
kids section, the whole book section. You have the health and beauty area.
I think it's under health and wellness is what it's listed on under the website. So
wow.
Indigo, I just got to
Yeah.
slow clap. Like they've really cornered the cozy night in market. Like you can get everything you need for a night in
yeah,
one
a nice
stop.
blanket, a candle, a good book to read, a
Yeah.
cookbook,
You
you know,
hit
some
a-
toys
you
for
hit
the
the
kids,
fantasy
toy
section.
for you.
They need to add a grocery section, and it's the perfect place. maybe some booze.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Also, you know how at Indigo the books are all Heather's picks?
Yeah.
There's Heather's picks on the sex toys.
No, there
isn't.
isn't.
No way. I want to know what Heather picked.
Yeah. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird egg looking thing with two dangly things off of it. You know, that thing.
Oh, that thing. Oh, yeah, of course. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Also, you know, Heather's the CEO of Indigo. Heather's not just a random person. I learned that this week as well upon doing all this research. I was like, I got to see what Heather looks like. Found out she's the CEO. So
okay.
How does she read so much?
I know. That's
so busy.
You're a CEO. You don't have that much time, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Audiobooks, maybe, whatever it is. Shout out to Heather and Indigo for a genius business move. Like whenever they put that in. I also put it up on my Instagram, and the amount of people that message in that were like, oh yeah, they sell the best stuff there was like astonishing. Apparently a lot of people know this.
God, that's news to me. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let everybody know.
Well, thank you for that. That's good.
And thank you for watching. You like that segue?
Or listening.
Or listening. We are done for the day. Let's do a quick thank yous. Thank you to Jim Bob John for the music, as always. Keep sending in videos of you dancing to the theme song. It's fun. We enjoy those. Big thank you to Jessica Wong for all the graphics. Thank you to the Comedy Here Often Podcast Network. Make sure you check out the other shows and the festival's still coming up, which we talked about last week. Very exciting. April 28th, 29th, 30th. So coming up shortly. It's called?
Stop Going Viral.
Stop Going Viral. And it's raising money for the Pan American Health Organization.
Yes.
Got it right this time. To help with the COVID-19 response in like Central and South America. So that's wonderful. Click the link to donate to that and watch that because like Will Arnett and Nikki Glazier and Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, us, I mean, oh yeah, it's huge. The lineup's amazing. Big thank you to Alexi, as always, for producing and being part of the show. We appreciate you. Follow her on... You want that?
Yeah.
Follow her. Don't.
Here's her phone number.
Follow her on Instagram, Young Alexi _
Yeah.
Is that a homage to Young Jamie from Joe Rogan?
Yes.
Because you're a constant podcast producer?
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
And thank you to you, as we mentioned, for listening, watching, supporting. We appreciate it. Rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment. Send us an email, tylerandlynch@gmail.com.
Send a voice memo, too.
Send a voice memo. Yeah. There was a couple that we didn't get to this week. We'll get to them on the Wednesday episode, I'm sure. And it's a pretty crazy reaction.
It's good. I love it. Thank you so much.
Everyone interacting and stuff. It's so fun. So we still want to get a job, but this is kind of nice.
I like this. This is fun. I like this.
Yeah. Just talk about whatever we want. Dead animals and...
You know, sex toys
and
gambling,
croissants,
every sin.
Still no word on Chad Kroger as well. We figured by now we'd see him at least around the building. You'd think the guy would work, but apparently he doesn't work ever. So we'd like to see him, and I'm sure he'll be on soon enough. So Chad, if you're watching this, we will see you soon.